Hey everybody, Ryan McCaffrey with IGN. I'm joined by Noah Hughes from Crystal Dynamics, the creative director on Tomb Raider. And hey Noah, you guys you've been hiding out a multiplayer mode from us.
Yeah, this is our rescue mode. This is one of our asymmetrical gameplay modes where we pit the survivors against the scavengers on the island, but really give them different objectives. So we see Roth here picking up the med kit, which he has to get back to the rescue point, and the scavengers are just trying to kill them. So they get 20 kills and they win. And if the survivors get the 5 med kits back to the rescue point, they win.
So this is definitely one of the heavier teamwork emphasizing modes, yes?
Yeah, and that's something that was important to us, is how do we really ask the players to work together even though it's a competitive environment. So for example, you see Roth here gets knocked down, and he can get finished there because there's a survivor right on top of him. But if you're 2 survivors working together, that the one survivor can actually get the other survivor up. So it really is asking the survivors to work together in order to overcome the scavenger threat here.
So it's a 3-on-3 mode. Are all of Tomb Raider's multiplayer modes 3-on-3?
We're playing 3-on-3 today, but it actually supports 4-on-4, and that's really trying to cater to the teamwork aspect of it, of 4 survivors working together against the scavengers.
Do you find that keeping it smaller makes it a little more intimate than the bigger, crazier 16-player matches?
It just makes it more important that you work together, and that idea that we wanted this asymmetrical teamwork to kind of simulate survivors versus scavengers rather than just sort of a chaos.
And what's the name of the map we're playing on here?
This is Chasm.
And how many maps total are in the game?
We have 5 maps at launch.
Yeah, that's kind of what was jumping out at me while we played. Was there's all sorts of little ledges to climb. You can use your pickaxe to go up walls. You can make some pretty long jumps. There's zip lines. How does all that play into the game?
I mean, as a Tomb Raider game, the traversal aspect is important. So we said, hey, if we're going to make a mode, let's make it somewhat familiar, but let's make sure we're leveraging the mechanics that are important to our single-player experience. So that idea of traversal and making sure that, in addition to teamwork, players' use of the environment is important. And that goes from anywhere from traversing. We have the climbing, the zip lines, where you can get all over. Higher ground is an effective strategy. But you also find things in the world. You find weapons and salvage, and that's something from the single-player game where basically scavenging yourself, you start with less than you can end the match with, so that exploration comes into play as well.
So now we're trying to get these 5 med packs here. We're down but not dead here again. Now can the scavengers see the locations as they are marked here for the survivors, or is it more of a surprise to them?
Yeah, the scavengers are working. Those are visible because those are the objectives, and we're looking at the survivor team here. And the scavengers are really left to, spot the survivors in the environment and take them out before they're able to get those med packs. So
give me a quick pro tip from each side. What's something that when the game rolls out on March 5th, that when I jump on Xbox Live or PlayStation Network, one tip for each team that'll help me win right away?
I guess one thing as a scavenger, we look at the down but not dead. You've got a survivor on the ground. You're that close to a kill, but before you immediately go and finish him off, you can ask yourself for a second: is there another survivor nearby that's going to be distracted by trying to save their friend? So, going for the immediate kill actually isn't always as effective as actually using an injured survivor as bait.
Interesting.
In the context of survivors, it really is that work together thing. That in this mode, you're carrying an object, and teamwork really does become essential. And teamwork isn't always. In some cases, you want a wingman who's right there with you. In other cases, you might want sort of a sniper who's able to clear the area and have a more open rescue point to bring it home to.
Right.
So this is actually, we've got a real close match here because we have only 2 more kills that the scavengers need, and we need 1 more med pack, and we've really seen the survivors make a comeback here, which is tough. But we're seeing them work together in a way that they weren't doing in the beginning of the match, and that's kind of what's fun about this mode.
Yeah, this is about as close as it gets. So, yeah, there's an interesting thing to talk about. So the pickaxe, we've seen it. We saw it used for traversal. You can also use it to essentially assassinate people. It looks like.
Yeah, that's part of the finishing moves that you have on a downed opponent.
Well, that is the rescue mode in Tomb Raider multiplayer, and we've got some more commentaries with Noah on the other game modes. So for all things Tomb Raider, you're already in the right place. IGN.